Hello, friends. I get that climate change can feel a little bit confusing and even overwhelming at times. There's a lot of noise out there, but let's clear a few things up. I do understand why you're skeptical. It is a big, complicated issue, and there's a lot of conflicting information out there. But one thing that's actually not divided is the scientific consensus. Over 97% of climate scientists agree that climate change is real. It's happening now, and it's largely driven by human activities, especially burning fossil fuels. That level of agreement in science is rare, and I think we need to understand that. It's about as close as you get to certainty in science. Yes, climate does naturally fluctuate, and the pace and scale of the changes we're seeing now, especially the rise in global temperatures, sea level rise, and extreme weather events, go way beyond what's typical in natural cycles. It's like comparing a slow tide to a sudden tidal wave. I also hear your point about costs. Climate change is expensive, but the thing is, inaction costs way more. Think of wildfires, floods, droughts, and even displaced communities. Those are already racking up billions in damage, and if we don't act now, those costs keep growing. On the social side, climate solutions can actually help with other problems, like creating jobs in clean energy, improving air quality, and boosting food and water security. It's not an either or. As for controlling the weather, you are right. We can't. We can't control the weather, but we can influence the factors driving climate change. It's like wearing a seatbelt. You can't prevent the car accident, but you can reduce the harm. Same with cutting emissions and preparing our communities. Also, let's define what we're talking about here. Anthropogenic climate change means climate change is caused by human activity, mainly through burning fossil fuels like coal, oil, and gas. These release carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, which trap heat like a blanket wrapped around the earth. And right now, the more we burn, the thicker that blanket gets. Now, some people say the climate has always changed, and that is true. It has always changed. But what's happening now is different. The pace of change is way faster than the natural cycles. And more importantly, we know it's human-driven. Scientists have measured the isotopes of carbon in the atmosphere, causing this climate blanket, and matched them to fossil fuel sources. We also see that natural factors like solar activity or volcanic eruptions can't explain the current patterns. It is us. It is us as humans here. But climate change isn't just about the weather. It's also about justice. Climate justice means recognizing that not everyone contributes equally to climate change, and not everyone suffers equally from its impacts. For example, many wealthy countries have been burning fossil fuels for over a century, building industries and economies along the way. Meanwhile, many developing nations, which contribute the least to this global emissions, are the ones facing the worst consequences: rising sea levels that flood island nations, droughts that devastate African farmers, and extreme storms that hit Southeast Asia the hardest. These communities often lack the resources to recover, relocate, or adapt to these changes in the climate, and that's not just unfortunate, it's also unfair to these people. So when we talk about climate solutions, we need to talk about justice. It's about making sure that the most vulnerable to these changes are protected, that richer countries step up to the challenge, and that the transition to cleaner future doesn't leave people behind. We are at a critical moment in history. The science is clear, climate change is real, and it's driven by human actions. Whether we like it or not, we are one of the main causes, if not the main cause. We are the main cause of this climate change issue as far as emissions are concerned. Climate justice reminds us that those who have contributed the least to the problem are often the ones that are paying the highest prices. This is not just a call to crisis. This is not just a crisis. It's also a call to conscious. We have the knowledge, the tools, and we have the opportunity to change the course of this climate change, to shift towards cleaner energy, to support the most vulnerable communities, and to create a future that's not only sustainable, but a future that is just and inclusive for not just the ones who are mainly the ones who drive this climate change into effect, like these wealthy nations, but also we are the ones who are going to change this and make it more equal for those who are in less wealthy nations that can't really prevent it themselves. So let's not wait to make this change, this positive change to combat climate change. Let's be the generation that listened, that cared and acted, not just for ourselves, but for the generations to come. Because the future of our planet depends on the choices that we make today. It's our job to step up and defend these countries and defend our planet against climate change and the emissions that cause it. Thank you.